Now it's time to get a little bit more serious with our code here. And we're going to create a smiley face. It's a good first exercise to try to understand a little bit how to relate different parts and pieces together on screen and get objects to appear where you want them to so that you are in control of what is happening. Now I have these lines of code and I'm not going to be using these. So what I want to do, I'm not going to delete them just yet because I'll leave them up here as reference. So I can just go and select part of these lines of code. And one thing that I can do, you'll see I have an option to comment or uncomment. If I turn these lines of code into a comment, that effectively renders them null. They're void. They don't do anything anymore. And it's also not a bad idea when we're speaking of comments is maybe at the beginning of my program, well, go up, I'll put it 2 slashes here. That's how I designate a comment. And I will just put my name. So it's here. Then I can, if I want, I can put the date. And if I want, I can put what the project is called, put an extra return in. So these comments help tell me what is happening. Now, I could put a comment in here and go, set the size of the program, background color, could comment that if I want, but now I'm just going to leave these here so they're in reference in case I want to go back to them or remember what that syntax was. So now if I run the program, we'll see that we're back to just a boring orange background. Next thing I want to do is draw the face. So to draw the smiley face, I need to establish the color. So I'll establish a color for this. And I could go and choose, oh yeah, why not? We'll go, well, I don't want it to be too electric because then that'll hurt my eyes. So I'll choose copy here and paste that in, and of course end with a semicolon. Now one thing that we can't do is if you're used to doing colors for CSS, for cascading style sheets, you do have inside the web browser certain colors where you can designate just a color name, such as red, yellow, blue, green, purple, teal, silver, etc. That's not allowed here. We can use hexadecimal, we can use RGB values, we can use HSB values, we can use grayscale values. Grayscale meaning I only have one color value that I'm putting into it. So we have a variety of options that we can choose with it, but we can't use just straight color names. There would be some ways that we could get around that in our coding where we could establish a variable to hold a reference to it, and we may look at doing things like that as our programs grow more complex and more advanced as the term progresses. But right now I've set a color for my face. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but we'll find out once we run it. And I want to just draw a circle. So for this I will choose circle. And now we remember it's our X, our Y, and our width, height, value, or in this case our diameter for it. So the X value, if I want it to be centered horizontally, I'll choose 400. And then if I want it to be centered vertically or maybe up a little bit from that, I'm going to say 250, not 2500, and 300 seems to be a decent size to go with the sketch we're working on. So now when I do that, we can see that now I have my circle on screen. Next, I need to draw some facial features onto this circle. So I'll put a comment here and I will say draw. I'm going to skip the word draw. It's a little bit redundant. I'll just say left eye here.